swear to God if I got lipstick on my teeth again. Hello everyone, James Stephanie Sterling here, a gay embarrassment. Ever since my last video where I talked about the transphobia I've been receiving, I've been inundated with a groundswell of transphobia. I've had a lot of lovely comments telling me I will never be a woman, no matter how many hormones I take, no matter what kind of lovely dresses or wigs I wear, no matter how much I apparently mutilate myself, I will never be a woman. And I agree. 'Cause I'm non-binary, you fucking idiots! You want to insult me, you want to offend me, tell me I'm not trans, which you can't because I literally am, you fucking idiots. Anyway, this week we're talking about the sale of intangible, meaningless, dishonest crap. And no, I'm not just talking about literally everything Peter Molyneux's ever said. I am of course talking about NFTs. Nasty fucking things. And speaking of fucking, I say the F word a lot this week. By my standards. That's how much NFTs fucking suck. Every time I hear about NFTs, and I hear about them all the fucking time now, I question whether or not I understand them correctly because they continue to, by all accounts, be less than fucking nothing. They're nothing. They're absolutely fucking fuck all. And I hate thinking about them, I hate writing about them, I hate talking about them, because they're vile, poisonous, pointless little drains on the world and society. They're artless, exploitative, environmentally damaging, parasitic wastes perpetuated by and defended by complete fucking idiots. In short, they're the billionaires of cryptocurrency scams. And make no mistake, they are a scam, as anybody with a working goddamn brain cell figured out when they first rose their severely ugly head. For those who don't know, and I'm sorry that I have to be the one to explain this, NFTs are an ingenious way that capitalism has been able to double dip on other people's labour by selling the rights to artistic works they don't even necessarily fucking own. Essentially, they let parasitic capitalists make money from someone else's work by doing precisely none themselves, again, like a billionaire. Here's how NFTs, aka non-fungible tokens, astoundingly work. Some idiot spends a ridiculous amount of money to claim they own a piece of media, except they don't. They own a digital receipt that says they own something to which they have no tangible rights. What makes them so allegedly amazing is that they can't be duplicated. They're verified and stored by the blockchain, another thing I'm sick of hearing about. But once again, they don't actually confer ownership of what's being sold. They merely let some random goofball claim they own it. And if the value comes from it being unable to be duplicated, from there being only one of it, why isn't my penis worth millions of dollars? Near as I can tell, ain't nobody reproduced my little dicklet. Why don't I put that on the market? Wait a minute, someone's gonna fucking do that now, because they don't have to own my cock to apparently sell it. Some fucking dickhead sells the rights to own something they don't actually own to somebody who won't actually own it, and that's it. That's an NFT. The biggest seller is digital artwork, though it could also be used to claim meaningless ownership over websites, music, and as that prick Jack Dorsey demonstrated, even tweets, perhaps the most valueless things on God's green earth. Speaking of God's green earth, another thing NFTs are known for is destroying the planet, aka the thing we all fucking live on. In the middle of a global climate crisis, it was decided by utter that what we needed was a literally worthless cottage industry that has severe impacts on the environment. Cryptocurrency in general is shit for this. Mining pretend money for profit is an energy-intensive process requiring a lot of computing power and graphics cards that no one else can buy now, which in turn creates more pollution. NFTs pile on top of that with further intensive computer transactions. It is basically the absolute last thing we need right now as the world hurtles toward inhospitable environments, uncontrollable temperatures, and what will likely become horrific food and water shortages. It's the worst thing to happen at the worst time for it. Also, it has to be pointed out, artwork specifically made to be sold via NFTs are fucking ugly. Like, who even wants to own some of this poorly drawn, barely professional shit? I know beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but some of this amateur hour crap is objectively, scientifically fucking awful. Worthless, artless, dangerous. Naturally, the fucking video game industry is all fucking over it. Indie game developer Jason Rower helped demonstrate the parasitic and useless nature of NFTs, something he claims he did on purpose despite making money off them and defending them adamantly. He started selling artwork created for his game The Castle Doctrine, artwork produced solely for use in the game and not made to be doubled down on. He did admit, at least, that NFTs are kind of a scam, which is fucking bold when he's making money off the back of art he didn't create. He did not consult with any of the artists, many of whom spoke out against the practice, and demonstrated just how little consent is needed for someone's labour to be sold with no benefit to them, or indeed the person being sold to. And by little consent, I mean none. Absolutely no consent required. That was bad, but what's truly troubling is the fact that powerful video game publishers smell cash and want a huge slice. Of course, from excessive DLC to microtransactions to loot boxes, game publishers are always looking for the next big scam, the next get-richer-quicker scheme, and you can bet a whole gaggle of little executive penises throbbed in unison when they realised there was yet another avenue to make money doing fucking nothing. An increasingly talked about concept in gaming is play to earn, where players will be incentivised not by a game being fun or interesting or good, but by their ability to earn cryptocurrency through engagement. Games have already been routinely vandalised by executive mandates, made grindier, slower, and more frustrating to play in order to pressure players into making in-app purchases. See, for example, Marvel's Avengers updating to make player progress even slower, right before it introduced premium boosters that sped that progress up for a price. This is something Square Enix had to actually walk back since they were unable to deny the dishonesty in promising their microtransactions would be cosmetic only rather than in-game advantages, but the principle stands, and there are examples of games over the years that have been made worse by the inclusion of incremental purchases and in-game gambling. See Shadow of War and Star Wars Battlefront 2 for a pair of the most notorious. Anyway, the point is, I dread to think how much fucking worse so-called AAA games could become when the motive for developing them is to churn out fake money. And while I've hoped all year that this NFT bullshit will just disappear like the fad it should be, sadly it looks like it's too late. NFTs are here to stay, and some of the biggest companies in the industry are about to embrace it. Electronic Arts CEO and suspected robot Andrew Wilson has already promised, or perhaps we could say threatened, that NFTs are in gaming's future. Beaming to his slimy investors, Android Wilson claims without offering evidence that FIFA players, already preyed upon by some of the most exploitative microtransactions in gaming, want to see NFTs as part of the franchise, and states that so-called play-to-earn titles are a thing now. Players want more modalities at play inside the game, which go beyond just straight 11 on 11 football. He shit out of his mouth. They want more digital experiences outside the game. Esports, NFTs, broader sports consumption, and they want us to move really, really quickly. Well, of course EA would want to move really quickly. After all, the goddamn planet Earth is on a ticking clock that has been hurried forward by all of this bullshit. No wonder they want to be swift about it, while claiming we're the ones that want it. They want to make as much money as possible before the world becomes a fucking oven. Nonetheless, Android has stated ideas for NFTs are still very early on and come with a lot of hype, but it's clear that Electronic Arts is ready to welcome this horrible, horrible scam, especially as recent job listings for the company specifically mention NFTs and the blockchain. Ubisoft, meanwhile, is forging ahead with reckless abandon, not just content to abuse its own employees for years without consequence. Ubisoft is happy to abuse the environment as well. The company has straight up stated it intends to develop blockchain games and NFTs, with the company's CFO calling blockchain a revolution in the industry. It will imply more play to earn that will enable more players to actually earn content, own content, and we think it's going to grow the industry quite a lot, said a man who oversees horrific working conditions. So we have been working with lots of small companies going on the blockchain, and we're starting to have a good know-how on how we can impact the industry. We want to be one of the key players here. What a By the way, despite all the hot air and promises, Ubisoft has done precisely nothing to address the complaints of its workers, at least a third of whom continue to feel unsafe there. The aforementioned Square Enix would also like a chance to ruin everything for everyone, also going on record as saying it wants to make a robust entry into blockchain games. Recently, the company sold 1 million NFTs within 2 weeks. This is because Square Enix, alongside Ubisoft and EA, is a massive piece of fucking shit. The recent push towards NFTs by some of the industry's biggest players is going to be interesting when it comes to Steam, the largest digital distributor of games. Recently, Valve announced that it would ban games with NFTs from the store, Age of Rust being one such game revealed to have been banned, its developer surmising that the reason is because NFTs have value, before said developer voiced its disappointment. Good. I hope they're fucking disappointed. Fuck 'em. Whether or not Valve is doing this for self-serving reasons, the move is still a positive one and I hope it remains in place. We will see, however, once more and more major publishers adopt this awful, awful con. One would hope Valve won't cave, but remember, Valve isn't your friend, it's a corporation, and corporations are explicitly nobody's friend. At the end of the day, everything is about money, and there's huge amounts of quite literally ill-gotten money to be made from NFTs. The games industry has smelled blood, and it intends to suck it out until we're all left with a withered husk. In terms of value, in terms of art, in terms of the environment, all of it is ready to be drained by every insidious vampire this industry has. What a bunch of fucking Now we move on from the sale of intangible crap to the sale of tangible not-so-crap. I am, of course, talking about the shit I sell at thejimporeum.com. We have a restock of this incredibly ludicrously popular shirt. The gays can do whatever they want. We've sold out every single time we've stocked. We have them now. We're going to have some vests as well, some tank toppy vest things. They are going to be in stock from 11/11 of the 11th. And we got key rings as well with it on, as well as other merch stuff for Laura K. Dale, the author and journalist and host of Accessibility. We've got anti-capitalist propaganda merch from Conrad Zimmerman. We got a load of stuff up, and we got some stuff coming as well. So, thejimporeum.com. It's better than an NFT because it's not made and distributed and bought by beat that bit, Justin. Thank God for me.